Welcome to the Washington Winter Wonderland. I'm Chris with DMV Adventures, and for the next 3 days, I'll be snow-sploring the nation's capital. From the monuments in the snow, to the tower in the sky, to the museums you haven't been to since you were a kid, we'll do it all downtown. We'll hit up the most expensive bars in the country and a few divey dives, visiting the best downtown spots and watching the worst NBA basketball. So put on your snow pants and be a tourist with me 25 minutes from home on the ultimate Washington, D.C. snow adventure. It's supposed to be a huge snow day tomorrow, and one of the most fun things you can do when it's gonna snow is have a snowcation. We're gonna check out the monuments in the snow, we're gonna have fun in the city, and I'm excited to do it. Let's go.
Holy smokes, I'm no joke out the bullpen, bringing nothing but heat, leave you hanging like clothespin.
First stop is Vienna Metro, because I just don't feel like sitting in traffic.
He's a beast when he goes in, ice cold frozen.
I actually converted my cell phone into a smart trip for the Metro, and I've never tried it before because it's like super scary to me.
Drop bombs, explosion, self-promotion, and I keep shit moving like
oh my gosh, it actually worked.
The number one spokesman is my devotion, that I'm dedicated to the rhyme.
Made it by 1 second. Not a huge fan of taking the Metro, since every vacation I take the Metro, something horrible happens. The fire and ambulance trying to get out these buses won't move. Oh hey, I was hoping we would just be stopped at a station with the doors open and not moving for a long period of time.
Go get a Mr. Assertive, Mr. Initiative, Mr. Results, man, I'm all about my business, kid. Damn, I mean, need I say more? I mean, what more can I say? You know the play, back for the last time. This time I mean that. I did a lot of shows, but you ain't never seen that.
Our hotel today is in the city center, which is kind of like by Metro Center, kind of by Chinatown, a little bit north from the monuments.
Did a lot of battles, I ain't even have to win it. I hit them with the song, they ain't even try to spin it.
Here we are at the Eaton Hotel. It's a pretty small room. We got a nice city view over here. We have a record player in our room.
Did a lot of promos, did a lot of interviews. Y'all getting hated on, a lot of been accused.
All right, so we are currently on our way down to Chinatown because tonight we are going to the Wizards game. I actually had season tickets for the Wizards for 10 seasons, and for 2 of those seasons I ran the Wiz Happy Hour group, and we did 100-something events. We had thousands of fans come out, but that was like 10 years ago. It's been forever since I've been down here. So before the game today, we're gonna go relive some of the old memories from being down here for Wizards game. This is what it sounds like when you record in the city. This is Gallery Place, Chinatown. It looks like a lot of the places that used to be open are no longer here, but thankfully, Walk and Roll still going strong. A lot of you might know this spot because it's like a popular karaoke bar here, but I know it because we used to come here before all the games for $1 sushi night. This is the first place I've ever had sushi in my entire life. I'm excited. I haven't been here in years and years and years. Let's check out Walk and Roll. Walk and Roll might not be the best or most fancy sushi in town, but it's nostalgic. This is the Long Iceland iced tea, which is a typo that's been on the menu for 20 years. It used to be the strongest drink you could get. Let's see if it's still strong. Next up is the pregame spot Jackpot, known for their free popcorn. One of the 2 basement bars down here by the Capital One Arena. We are at Jackpot. And the final hangout spot before the game is Rocket Bar. And yes, it smells the same as it did when it first opened.
Can't nobody out here do it like me. Ain't nobody out here winning like me. Can't nobody out here do it like me. Just like me, like me.
So our ticket came with a free soda and hot dog, and I sweet talked my way into a beer. We got our hot dog, we got our beer. Did the Wizards lose the game? Is that even a real question? And afterwards, we had to drown our sorrow next door with some late night oysters. It's supposed to start snowing in about 4 hours, so we're gonna try to get a few things done before the snow starts. Later in the video, we're going to classic downtown DC bars, but for now, some tourism. One of my Twitter followers has a restaurant at the Waldorf Astoria. That clock tower behind me, some of the best views of DC, and the best part, it's free. We are on the elevator on the way up. We're still going and going and going and going. You can see panoramic views of the whole city from here, windows on all the sides. First museum of the day, the Natural History Museum. We got fossils, we got animals. Let's check it out. This is the Hope Diamond. It's valued at $350 million. There is no air in space, but there is an Air and Space Museum. You actually have to go online and reserve a time slot. And unfortunately, like half of the museum is closed until 2026. So quite honestly, go to the one in Chantilly. Are we actually, without our grandparents in town, going to see paintings? I guess. I gotta admit, I thought this was gonna be awful, and it's actually pretty cool. Next stop, the United States Botanic Gardens, which I always call the Botanical Gardens. We have entered the tropical zone, and as you can see, it's hot in here, it's humid in here. The desert area, Hawaii, the orchids. We are out in the snow. We are headed to one of the most classic restaurants in downtown DC. I know it's a touristy spot. It's basically right across from the White House. It's the Old Ebbitt Grill.
Supposed to go this way.
We've got like half a dozen clams and half dozen oysters.
Yesterday, I didn't need you next to me. Am I the kind that you expected me to be?
The oysters are always phenomenal. Oyster happy hour is awesome. The service and bartenders are great. This is actually pretty cool, not just a tourist spot.
I'll pump the gas.
Old Ebbitt is actually the place you want to come like after 11 p.m. because they also have their happy hour at night. Some bad news from Old Ebbitt Grill. They no longer have the secret under-the-counter $3 PBRs. All right, we've got ourselves an oyster shooter. These always destroy me.
And tomorrow, you'll be gone.
I don't know why I love those so much, because they always taste terrible. Who orders anchovies at a bar? This guy.
Sweet, sweet, sweet Thursday.
Next up, a rooftop bar where you can look down and actually see the White House. It's got great views of the monuments normally, but let me show you what it looks like today. It's like a whiteout out there. You can barely see the White House. I can't even see the Washington Monument. And our next bar is at this other fancy hotel. It's called the Willard. This is the Round Robin Bar.
A million people made
It's a very, very high-end bar. $25 per drink.
in a dusty storm. Two lonesome losers in a stolen dream, headed straight for nowhere in a suicide machine. If you see
The White House is right there, and this bar is right here. It's called Off the Record. I got their famous pear martini. If you thought the last place with the $22 drinks was expensive, try $30. And while this was the most expensive bar maybe in my entire life, it was pretty cool. I had a good time there.
and yesterday is far away and too
DC is currently a snowpocalypse right now. Cars are still driving on the road, but
it wasn't supposed to go this way. Sweet, 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 sweet Thursday.
so we've been going to all these fancy hotel bars tonight, and I'm walking down in Chinatown, passing the Hotel Monaco. So I figure this might be a good spot to stop next. Bro, this is so cool, man. I'm in Washington, D.C. right now. I'm the only person on the streets. There's no cars. There's snow everywhere. Last night we went to the Wizards game. It's a totally different scene down here. It's like a ghost town. So 11 years ago, a bar opened down here in Chinatown, and they were like, don't tell anyone that we're open. We're not gonna have a sign. We're just gonna be behind some dumpsters. It was the first speakeasy I ever went to in my life. All the trash cans right there. What is this? Is this like a fire escape? Is it an alley? Nope, it's Denson. I walked across the entire city through the snow and got our awesome cocktails here at Denson. So far away from the hotel. I walked so far to get here. They got happy hour all night tonight because of the snow. Good morning. It's not exactly the winter wonderland I was hoping for. All the snow is like wet and slushy, but that's not gonna stop me from walking all the way down to the mall here at 7 a.m. and checking out the monuments. All right, so we have made it down here to the National Mall. This is actually the Washington Monument. You got the Lincoln Memorial right down there. And on the other end, you can look straight down into the Capitol. Who would have thought that just 2 days ago, I was all the way back in my home state of Virginia, about 25 minutes away from here. And now I've traveled to a world capital. I thought shoveling the driveway was rough. These guys are out here shoveling the Lincoln Memorial steps. I didn't think I'd be riding a scooter in the snow past the Washington Monument today. It's actually pretty fun. Well, I had an awesome time this week being a tourist in DC. We watched the Wizards lose for the millionth time. I checked out all the touristy museums, and I even went on a crazy bar crawl to some of the most expensive bars in the country. I walked through the abandoned city in the snow, and I came down and saw the monuments. And it all goes to show you, you don't have to go far to go on vacation and have a good time. So thank you for joining me out here in Washington, D.C. And I look forward to seeing you on my next staycation, snowcation, or DMV adventure.